Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new Shark Raw helmet, available at RevZilla.com. 3 years in the making. This is the latest and greatest from Shark, and we finally have a production version. This is the new Raw, sub $300, urban assault, cafe-styled, naked bike-styled. This is a very different take on the open face helmet. Now, if we look at it, and this is my matte black, or this is my matte green version. Remember, there's a black, matte black, a white, a handful of graphics. Remember, DOT and ECE rated as an open face helmet. Even though you have this polyurethane mouth guard, you have this optically correct goggle system, it's still rated as an open face helmet. I'm going to walk through these more in detail as we move along. Keep that in mind. This helmet is designed for style and protection for the urban, for the cafe, for the naked biker elite. I think Cobra Commander would be really proud as well. Now let's briefly touch on fitment. This is a Shark helmet. Shark comes from France. We see them do a mixture of fit types. This guy's going to be more intermediate to neutral to round. Keep that in mind. It's not as much of a long oval. It's going to be more that neutral to round shape. It's going to fit folks that have more of a wide circumference on their head. And remember, we do ship for free, and I would love to hear your gut reaction on the Shark Raw. Click here, subscribe to us at RevZilla TV. Leave me your comments, your questions, but more importantly, leave me your feedback, your gut reactions on this bad boy. Now, diving into some of the feature set, what we see is a very lightweight helmet. And remember, you don't have a chin bar. It's only rated as an open face. So it's going to be 2 pounds, 13 ounces. So that means that it's coming in underneath that 3-pound mark. Very lightweight, very agile. You're not going to feel it. It is polycarb too. And the polycarb's not going to be as lightweight as a fiberglass, but again, that's how they're able to keep that price point sub $300, which is a nice touch. And remember, you're going to move up a little bit in price as you go into some of the graphic versions. Now, if I start to flip it on its side, you're going to see as we break down the basic anatomy here, one big vent scoop on top, and it's meant to not have any protrusions, any switches, no big vent scheme here. Knowing it is an open face, you'll get a ton of air through the front, but what they did was they gave you one vent to the scalp, and that's going to be controlled by this removable rubberized stopper. So open or closed. I love what they did here. They even gave you a little cloud with some rain there to remind you that you really only need to put it in if you want to block the rain. And it does have a hole in it so you can attach it to your keychain so you won't use it. Again, that's them looking at this helmet and saying, this is designed for someone that really cares about the style and the complete look. Think about some of that hardcore Dainese gear that you might see on the market coupled with this helmet. It's a very intimidating look. Now, if you look along the sides, you're going to see how that goggle system ties back in. And if I move it around to the back, you're going to see that it sweeps back, but again, very clean lines going all the way back. We think from a design and aesthetic standpoint, this thing knocks it out of the park. But there is a bit of a trade-off because you're getting a helmet that in certain cases is going to have a little bit less protection. And then also you have a goggle, which is a little bit fussier to work with, and I'll be honest about that, than if you had an open face or a flip-up helmet or even a full face helmet. So diving into the goggle itself, you'll notice that this helmet comes in 3 configurations. You can completely remove the goggle and wear it in a full open face design. You can remove this piece, which is your mouth guard here, and it's polyurethane, and it can be a little fickle putting it on and off. Notice that it's vented on the back, but it does have a film for debris and dust blocking. But keep in mind, guys, this is not part of that DOT or ECE rating. This is just a block that kind of continues the badassery and blocks some of the dust and some of the debris, but in a crash situation, it's going to give you minimal protection. Now, if you move into the goggle system, this is actually one of my favorite pieces about this. It really is like a high-end skier snowboard goggle. It has the double pane design. It's Carl Zeiss optics, which are high-end lenses out of Germany. And the double pane means that while it does have an anti-fog coating, it's going to almost give you that pin lock factor that's not going to fog. And if I turn the Shark Raw on its side, you're going to see it's completely vented. And you'll notice on the back side of this that it has a full foam layer, so it's going to be comfortable against your skin. Now, while I am going to tell you that it fits nicely, it fits snugly, it's going to create a great seal against your eyes, the removal of it can be a little fickle. And what I mean by that is because it is soft, what you can do here, I'm going to pull this side pod off, pull that off. You can see how I would do this. It's one of those things that takes a little bit of time. So getting it off is much easier. And as I pull it open here, you're going to see how it would slide out. There's my foam layer. It's vented on the top. Again, premium in its design, stealing a lot of technology from what I would call the dirt world, from the snowboard world, from the action sports world. They really looked into that. And notice how the side pod would go on. I find personally when I want to remove this goggle, I'm actually going to do it from the side pod side of things versus doing it by undoing these side ports because it is soft and it can be a little bit finicky to get it back on. pull this down here. You can see as I snap it back there. I will say as well that you saw me rotate that off from the sides. You could, in certain instances, rotate this goggle up and put it on top of the head, but I'm actually going to recommend that you don't do that, because what will happen over time is I believe that this foam layer will start to come unglued over time as you rotate it up. So what I would really recommend is, if you're wearing it with the goggles on, you pull it on and off your head, leaving those goggles in the same position. And if you want to remove them, you remove the helmet and then remove it from the side pods. That way you're going to give yourself the best lifespan out of your Carl Zeiss goggle lens and goggle system here, which is foam backed. Keep in mind as well that we should see Shark rolling out new styles of goggles, new finishes for lenses, so you'll be able to accessorize this bad boy or buy a replacement set of goggles moving forward, which is nice because they realize that over time, if you're rocking this bad boy every day, especially in city riding, you're just gonna beat it up. It's par for the course. That's what happens on motorcycles. You end up dinging up shields over time, so keep it in mind. As I flip it open, you're going to see, and I'm gonna pull my donut up here, double D-ring construction, and they're using the same premium bamboo liner that we first saw in the Race R Pro. Hypoallergenic, cool to the touch, it's going to be wicking, and you'll notice around the forehead, I'm going to undo this guy and open it up so you can see it fully. You're going to notice around the forehead and around the cheek, in areas where you really might sweat, that the material absolutely changes. And again, that's going to be for additional wicking capabilities. It's a nice touch. It's forward thinking. Remember, Shark has Moto 2 and MotoGP riders wearing their stuff. They're not spring chickens here. They've been doing this for a while, so they really understand what it takes to make a premium quality helmet. You'll see here too, notice that secondary material, which is softer to the touch and is going to wick a little better. Cheek pads come out very easily. They are Velcro. Keep in mind as well that Shark has the Shark Tooth system, and the Shark Tooth system is their OEM style Bluetooth connector. And what that does, it allows you to go bike to bike or connect with your peripherals and listen to music. This helmet is already going to have a cutout for it, and it's going to have cutouts on the earpieces, so that you're going to be able to incorporate those speakers seamlessly. Notice here is my comfort liner. Notice 3D in its design, plenty of cutaways. And remember, it's limited venting from the outside in, but you're going to get great airflow from the inside or from the front of the helmet. And there's that secondary material. Most of us, including myself, tend to sweat a lot in the forehead, and it's nice that they gave you that extra wicking material, and I've talked about it a few times. And it is hypoallergenic, which means it's not going to stink over time, and your body really should not react with it, even if you have sensitive skin. Now, looking in the interior guts of the helmet, you're going to see big venting channels. And again, they run all the way down to the back of the neck. You can see how they come together, starting or emanating from that peak up front. And even as I go over to the ears, you're going to see these speaker cutaways to take that Shark Tooth system. And then in the back of the helmet right here, this is where you'd remove a piece, you'd incorporate your Shark Tooth system right there, and that's where the battery and the housing unit lives. So it becomes a very seamless design over time. So keep in mind, what we really love about the Shark Raw helmet is the style. It's very unique. I'll call a spade a spade. You have the Bell Rogue helmet, which feels like that Bane style. This guy's really Cobra Commander, city-inspired, low profile, very fashionista, very French, very European, and premium in its feel. But what you're trading off is some protection in the face, because it's not full face, and you're also trading off the ability to bang it around a little bit, because remember, they're using high-quality optics, and you're using some PU injection molded pieces here that over time, if you don't take care of them, you might wear them out a little bit, but they are also replaceable. So keep that in mind, guys. The next step in your journey is to click right here and read other rider reviews of the Shark Raw helmet at RevZilla.com. Remember, start with my information, but you don't have to take my word for it. As always, we ship for free, and if you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown of the new Shark Raw helmet. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.